Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do another video that I have been planning for about a year now, so I'm very excited for it. Before we get into it though, I do want to apologize for the audio on this video. My microphone won't sync, so I don't know what's going on there, and I really wanted to get this video out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into a haul. It's going to be my Barnes & Noble edition haul, part 2. So one of my most popular videos here on YouTube is my Barnes & Noble Classic Editions haul. And so I actually hauled most of these books, if not all of them, in my previous haul. So if you haven't seen that one, go ahead and check that one out. But it is like my most seen video. So with that being said, I have gotten a couple more in my collection. I'm very excited to show all of you. So the first one that I want to show you guys is actually one of their brand new books. I actually checked out with this, and the girl was like, this is so pretty, I love this book, and she wanted to buy it herself. It's like a new release, and I've been wanting to get more into classic poetry and classic authors, so I thought I would pick it up, and it is stunning. It is a Treasury of Classics. Classic poetry. So this is what the front looks like. And the end papers are gorgeous. And then the end papers, I guess I'll call them, are gold. And it's very shiny and reflective. So this one has everything from William Shakespeare. They have about a lot of sonnets. I'm not going to count all those, but a lot of sonnets from William Shakespeare. You have John Donne, Ben Jonson, Robert Herrick, George Herbert, John Milton. I actually knew a John Milton when I was in grade school, so that's kind of fun, but it wasn't him, obviously. They have a ton of William Blake. They have the Songs of Innocence, the Songs of Experience. They have John Keats, Edgar Allan Poe, they do have. He has The Raven, The Bells, Annabel Lee, The Haunted Place, The Conqueror Worm, The City in the Sea, A Dream Within a Dream. And then they have Alfred Lord Tennyson, which I'm excited to read his stuff. They have Robert Browning, Lewis Carroll. They have The Hunting of the Snark and The Walrus and the Carpenter, Edgar Lee Masters, and then they have Robert Frost, which is one of my favorite poets as of right now. I don't know a lot of other poets, but his poem is actually the very first poem I understood. So that poem is actually in this one, and it's called The Road Not Taken. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard of it, and that one kind of just blew my mind when I finally understood it. So yeah, but this is the Treasury of Classic Poetry. I'm excited to study this and get more into classic literature and actually from an academic standpoint study this. The next book was something I was actually kind of on the fence about, but I ended up going ahead and getting it, and it is H.P. Lovecraft, the Complete Edition. So this has all of H.P. Lovecraft's work. H.P. Lovecraft is a horror writer, and when I was in college, I took a writing course on creative writing and fantasy and myths and lore. I hoped that would help my writing, which it did. But with that being said, I think he said that Tolkien was a huge fan of H.P. Lovecraft, which I found I must have heard him wrong because I have not found that on the internet. But granted, the internet isn't always right. But anyway, this is his entire entire collection. So it has this kind of spacey illustration on the front. I'll show you. I don't know, I've never read one of his stories, so I don't know exactly what they are about. I just know that they're scary. This is the inside. And then the end papers are a metallic silver. And then the back has a couple of his works. So The Call of, I'm not going to say that right, but Thulhu, and At the Mountains of Madness, The Dunwich Horror, or The Color of Out of Space, and more. So the reason I bought this was, number one, because I do want to get into H.P. Lovecraft. I think he is a legend for a reason. But also, I was watching a English literature major talk about what she's studying, and she studied one of the poems by him, and it sounded really fun to read. And that one is, I think it's The Strange High House in the Mist, I think is what she was reading. But I wanted just that short story, and I don't know, it was 25 bucks, why not? This is what the end of it looks like. And it's a nice, like, leather. It's soft. It's very like a velvet leather, if that makes sense. Very soft, and also has a lavender bookmark in it, so it can keep your plates. But yeah, this is H.P. Lovecraft. So the next one is actually not really a Barnes & Noble edition, but it is a leather-bound edition you can find at Barnes & Noble. And if you guys know anything about me and my writing, I am a writer based off myths and legends, and I kind of pull from them to get some inspiration. So I love anything about classic fairy tales. So I went ahead and got this. This is Bullfinch's Mythology. Forgive me if I said that incorrectly, by Thomas Bullfinch. I've actually never read his work, so this is all about myths of ancient Greece, I believe. So it says, the age of fable, the age of chivalry, and the legends of Carmange. It was $24. This is what the cover looks like. This is what this looks like. And then you open it, and the end papers are gorgeous. And then the back looks like this. So, the end papers are a metallic gold again. It's not a Barnes & Noble edition, but I did think it was kind of along the same lines of this video, and so why not show it? I think it's a beautiful edition. I'm very excited to read it. I know nothing about this author or what I'm about to get into, but I'm excited nonetheless. The next book is a very small book, but it is actually now one of my favorite books. I bought it about a year ago, and I've since read a lot of it, and I love it. I didn't know what to think about it. I thought it was going to be a story. It's actually like a collection of poems, and it's just magical. If you guys have not read this book, I highly recommend it. It's like $5 at Barnes & Noble. But they have these little collector editions, and they are super, super small in comparison to the other ones. But I got The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, and it's gorgeous. So it has all of that detail, and the end papers are a gold, and in the inside it looks like that. You guys can get focus, and this is what the back looks like. just almost an identical of the front. So I'll go ahead and read you the contents. It says, the coming of the ship, on love, marriage, children, giving, eating and drinking, on work, on joy and sorrow, on houses, on clothes, on buying and selling, on crime and punishment, on laws. So it's basically his opinion on all of these things. So the paper looks like so. There we go. So gorgeous, gorgeous papers. Really well made book. I can actually like read it and not feel like I'm gonna like destroy it. The only thing I don't like is that it had like a little sticker right here that I peeled off after I bought it, but it still has the residue, so it's kind of sticky right here. So I've been thinking about getting another one, another edition, because it was like $5. So, but yeah, this is actually one of my favorite books now, and I'll always have it in my collection. I have had to start this video over about 5 times. So I am sorry if everything looks different every time you see a clip. Anyway, let's get on with the video. The next book I have gotten is probably, I don't want to say it's the prettiest book because they're all like pretty in their own unique way, but I would say the most no, I don't know, I like it for its own unique reason, and it is Native American Myths and Legends. It's a metallic gold and turquoise. So this is what it looks like. And the end papers are a copper. It's like a rose gold. I don't know if you're going to be able to, kind of like a brown. And then the back looks like this. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the spine is this. And the reason I bought this is because in my fantasy and myths and legends class, we actually read a Native American legend, and that legend was called Yellow Woman. And so I really wanted to have like a hard copy of it. So I bought this, and unfortunately Yellow Woman is not in here. I'll just have to go ahead and buy the book. But I also did want to get more into the myths and legends of Native Americans, mainly because my sister is actually Native American. We were both adopted, and she came from, I think, a tribe in Nebraska. Don't quote me on that, but definitely, like, my parents had to go through the tribe to get my sister. So she's Native American, and I thought it'd be fun for me to kind of connect with her heritage in this way. She's not interested in reading anything. She's not a big reader, so she would not. I've asked her before if she wanted this. She said no. So I thought it'd be nice for me to read it and just know more about, you know, the people who came from this land. The end papers are gorgeous. Again, this is what they look like, and they're super pretty. But yeah, I'm very excited about this one. Even though it doesn't have Yellow Woman, I'm excited to see what I can learn from these texts. Almost done. I have the next one here, and this one I actually was not very convinced to buy. I was very hesitant with this book, and the reason being is because if you look behind me, I have all the fairy tale books, right? Why do I need another fairy tale book? So, fun fact, not all fairy tales were written by Hans Christian Andersen and the Grimm brothers. Some were told in like folk tradition, kind of passed down by generations and generations, and not necessarily well-known authors like that. So I went ahead and purchased it. It is a Treasury of Irish Fairy and Folk Tales, and it looks like this. Gorgeous, right? super pretty. This is what the back looks like. And then gorgeous spine. I think Alice wants to come in. Alice has entered the chat. So going back to A Treasury of Irish Folktales, that is Alice walking around. She's gonna go lay on her bed. But anyway, gold end papers again, just like we have been seeing. And then on the inside, it's gorgeous. So I love that. It has a fae. After doing like a lot of research on fae, because I am an author of a fantasy novel and I did a lot of research. I still am doing a lot of research on fae and the different types of fae, different types of monsters, different types of myths and legends. I'm quite terrified of the fae. They're not sweet and innocent like we think they are. But this is truly something called fairy tales. When I think fairy tales, you might think, you know, Grimm Brothers or something, just little stories. No, this is actually tales about fae. So it goes into the fairies, changelings, solitary fairies, the puka, the banshee. It goes into all the races, like the cave fairies, all of the races of fae. And that is what this is about. Then it goes into witches and fairy doctors and priests and saints. Goes into the devil, giants, rocks and stones, kings, queens, princesses, and all that fun stuff. So this is mainly about fae and fairies and all about their lore, which I kind of find interesting because I feel like I'm going to learn a lot about their origins. So I'm excited about this. Last but not least, I have to open this one, so I'll be right back. Alright, last but not least, I have a classic book that I wasn't originally going to get until that booktuber studied it and convinced me to get it. And it is Dracula. And this is gothic and terrifying in a sense. So this is what the title looks like. So it says Dracula and it has these beautiful red and gold. Actually, I think it might be silver. It's kind of hard to tell. But the end papers are silver, which makes me think that it's silver. The spine looks a little bit like this. And the back has the castle and then the road leading up to the castle. I actually did a little bit of research into Dracula because I'm a huge Ghost Adventures fan. And they went to the actual castle that it was based off of and told us a little bit about the kind of origins of the story and what it was based off of, and it was quite terrifying. Okay, so the end papers are red like blood. Nothing too fancy there, but it has Dracula, it has the Jewel of 7 Stars, the Lair of the White Worm, and then Dracula's Guests and Other Stories. So you have like the Judge's House, The Secret of Growing Old, The Gypsy Prophecy, all of that. I don't know if this is all written from Bram Stoker. I don't know if it's all written by him, but I think they might be. But I'm excited to get into this. This is actually going to be something I'm reading in October. In October, I'm going to be doing this whole reading of like scary books. It's going to be like Agatha Christie, Edgar Allan Poe, Dracula. It's going to be all of those stories. So stick around and subscribe if you want to see that. But that will be the end of this video. I hope you guys liked it. I know that you guys loved my previous one. I hope that I guess this made you smile. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video. It really does help my channel, and subscribing is free and super easy. All you have to do is click, I forget which corner, but there's a little button. You just have to click that. It won't lead you anywhere else. It just subscribes you, completely free, and it lets you know about all of my videos. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you guys have a good day.